Willie here. I'm going to give you a video. Just as always, there's a lot of stuff going on. Sorry I haven't been here the past couple days. I actually ended up getting poisoned, believe it or not. It was my own fault. I'm ridiculous sometimes. I guess it's a man thing. I don't know. We just think we can never get sick or what have you. But I work part-time at a lawn care company here in town, and I was spreading granular fertilizer. Well, on Friday, it had rained, so anything in front of me was kind of absorbing into the ground and starting to liquefy. Well, my shoes got wet. So I think what was happening, the combination of me kind of breathing in some of the dust from the bags and then absorbing, my shoes getting wet, basically getting absorbed with fertilizer on my feet. It got enough in my system, and it made me sick. I got really dizzy, and it didn't hit me right away. It hit me like, I don't know, it was Friday night. I actually had a phone call with Scott over at Planet X News, and I cut it short because I started feeling really bad. And, you guys can probably hear the raspiness in my voice. It's because I've been, getting sick over and over and over again. I almost ended up going to the hospital, but I didn't. So take that as a lesson, guys. Stuff can get absorbed into your skin through your feet. After I've done some research on that, that's, I guess it makes sense because a lot of people detoxify through their feet. So it would make sense it could go the other way if you get your feet real wet. But anyway, that's where I've been. As if anybody really cares. But anyway, what we're looking at here, guys, this is a capture that Scott had made back on the 25th. This is from the seed site. This is the Lasco C2. And I'm kind of piggybacking off of his video because I had noticed the same thing. And we briefly spoke about this on Friday. He had already done a video prior to this. But I had actually made a video and I didn't post it after I seen his because he did such a good job with it. But what we're showing here, guys, is, Scott made this capture right here next to the sun. Again, we're showing an object, right? Well, they decided they wanted to hide it. And this is stuff that we've been noticing for quite a while. It's just now we've been able to, catch it and catch them altering things to where we can't see that anymore. I watch the seed site all the time, just like Scott does and many others, okay? And he's right. I actually spend, and he does too, like at least an hour a day looking at this, okay, because there's so much to see. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you on over to the seed site, and we will, I'll show you what we're talking about, and then I'll point you guys to his video because he did a really good job explaining all this. Now, again, this is seeds, okay? So what are we looking at here? Well, right here, this actually gives you a good representation of where these satellites are at, and I've shown this before. So if we zoom in a little bit, this is their header, okay? This is the Earth, this is the Sun. Stereo A, which I talk about a lot, because we get most of the SETI data comes from that satellite. Stereo B, we haven't seen anything from Stereo B for many years now because they say it went into a spin, and it is what it is, okay? We can't prove or disprove that that's what's happened. Do I think that's what's happened? Absolutely not. I think that they're seeing stuff from over here that they don't want us to see. For whatever reason, the position of that satellite was showing things that they didn't want us to see, okay? So, but when we talk about LASCO, and I say that a lot, LASCO C2, C3, that information is coming from the satellite, from the SOHO satellite. Okay, it's an observatory on a satellite, looking at the sun all the time. This is the position it's in. It's out in front. It's between us and the sun, orbiting the sun with the Earth around the sun. Okay, staying in the same position. So it's always looking this way. So if you guys have ever wondered, that's where that's at. Okay, and again, Stereo A, which stands for ahead, is out in front of the Earth, orbiting the sun in the same orbit the Earth takes around the sun. Stereo B, like I said, just don't even pay attention to that anymore because we're never ever going to see any data from that again. Now, they're seeing data, I almost guarantee. But they say they can't. They say they lost communication with it. Whatever. I know stuff does happen sometimes. I'm not trying to say that that's not a possibility, but I am saying that that's highly unlikely. I'll just put it to you that way. So, what are we looking at here? This is the LASCO C2. This is where I go to look at it usually. Okay. Now, if you see these links right here, okay, see where they're purple, or they may look blue from where your guys are at. But those are active links. That means those days have data. If you see this gray, that means that link is not active. It means there's no data for us to see there. It didn't upload for 4 days. They didn't give us any data for 4 days. Well, why? Why would they do that? Was it a breakdown in the system, or was it something they did on purpose? Well, normally this thing is like right on it. Okay, we get this stuff almost real time. Not, I wouldn't say real time. We get this stuff almost as soon as they get this data. What do I mean by that? Well, right now it is 5:30 a.m. where I'm at here in the Eastern time zone. If we go to LASCO right here this day, look at the timestamp. Okay, 6:48. Now this is UTC. Keep that in mind. All right. So I'm about 6 to 7 hours difference from UTC. So what does that mean? That means that roughly, I guess, about 5 hours ago, this is what it looked like. So in other words, we're getting like a 5-hour lag, which is really, really good if you think about it. Okay. There's some sites like SETI itself is 2 to 3, sometimes even more lag time. So that means we're seeing these fairly quick. So when we see this site do what it did there, as far as missing data for multiple days, it always comes into question if that was done on purpose or not. I tend to think it was. So what do? Well, what I do normally is I go look at the day before that it went down. Okay, this is what we've seen, and I try to look at this one very, very closely, because sometimes we'll catch stuff that's starting to happen and then they cut the feed. Okay, they don't let us see things. And this does take a second to load. I realize that, and that's what it's doing right here. And it'll start moving faster here in a second. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't specifically see much of anything this previous day. Okay. Now, what could have happened, and this is where we got to start paying attention to what we're doing a little bit closer. Okay, I'm gonna pause this for a second. But if we do think that that's going to happen, anybody else that looks at these guys, take a screen recording. Record the time lapse, okay? That way we can maybe catch when they do change things, okay? Because why do we need to catch it? Because it kind of validates what we're looking at. If they thought it was important enough to try to hide, that means it's something we should be trying to find, okay? I mean, that's just simple as that. So anybody that looks at these sites, at least take screenshots if you think something looks odd, okay? You may not know what you're looking at, but that doesn't matter. As long as we have that data and we can get that data from somebody and try to show, that would be great. So basically, I'm calling on everybody to, if you guys see something weird on these things, take a screenshot or a 6-second video of this and just keep it on your computer or what have you. You don't have to keep a bunch. I mean, you can even throw it on a thumb drive if you want. Just make sure you have it if you can. And I understand people that don't have time or don't feel comfortable doing that. That's fine too. But anybody that's willing to do something like that would really be appreciated. So this right here, this lapse in time here, where we got the 4 days it didn't show us. This is why I didn't show you guys the LASCO C2. And again, I had already done a video. I just hadn't posted it yet, and I was so glad Scott did, because I mean, there you go. And what's funny is we didn't even talk to each other about this. This is something that we were doing separately that we didn't even realize we were doing the same thing pretty much. But he caught that. He caught that object, right? So here's the day at the first stuff that we get to see after it was down for so long. Now this thing is still doing something crazy. Okay, you seeing all that? Now what I've noticed, this is what is really odd. And I'm gonna push start. I'm just gonna keep this going full speed, but watch it blink. When you see it blink, you see a big, like, I don't know, that right there. I'll tell you what, I'll pause it and we'll go back to that because I want to show you that real quick. Okay, what does the seed site do? Well, it was set up to show coronal mass ejections. Okay, that's why they do this. If you go look at the regular LASCO C2, like on the ISWA site, which I take you guys to quite often, and I usually leave a link down there, but you'll see the red view over here on the right, and you can tell how we can catch stuff on the left more so than on the right, and this is why. Okay, see what this did here? See this whited out whatever? Okay, then it lets you see something in there. Go back a couple more, blackout, and then that. Notice, I want to say this. Notice nothing is going on the right. Okay? This data is coming from the same spot. So why is the one on the left not showing anything and the one on the right is? Well, that just lends a little bit more validity to that they're messing with something on purpose. Okay? Now there are, like I said, they shut it down for days on, in my opinion, on purpose. Now here's one. This is why I say that there must have been something going on right here because they blocked it out on both. Why would they block it out on this one and then not the other one? Well, I mean, look at this. This is kind of odd. All right. Now I'm not saying these things can't have malfunctions because they do. I mean, it's a machine, so I mean, you got to understand that sometimes it's going to have malfunctions, but when you see these things happen constantly, this is when we have issues, okay? This is one of those times. So, now you see this particular, like, I'm just going to call an anomaly or screw up in what data that we're able to see here. This imaging right here. So I'm going to go to the next day, okay? Watch. Okay, just give it some time here a second. All right, see how it's starting to wig out a little bit. 17, 18, okay, and it's doing crazy stuff. All that blinking stuff again. Now we're going to go to the next day. All right, this is the 7th. Again, we're not seeing too much data. We didn't see hardly any data from the 7th. That's today. Okay. Well, I guess that would be, I'm sorry, I was pushing the wrong buttons there. But this is like current. This is what's going on right now. So, yeah, I just showed you guys that. Anyway, I'm going to back up here. What I wanted to show you was, I will start it. Let's see here. Previous to that, guys, we were seeing that same sort of anomaly, but I'll show you guys that later. But I just wanted to point that out, okay? I mean, because, you know, Scott caught something there. I was seeing some stuff there, and then they do that. So, I mean, it's just more validity that they are actually trying to hide some stuff, okay? I'll just leave it at that. But, so, on to this other thing, okay? This is from over at Jeff P. Me and Jeff P's been talking and working together a little bit here on this matrix theory that we've been talking about. Now, I thought this was great. This was over at Jeff's channel. This is a really good example of what we're trying to talk about, okay? And this helps explain it. Now, this is a Chum-trail, right? Okay, you guys can see the aircraft there. All right, this is its trail. Notice direction that it's moving. Okay, why is it moving in this direction? But yet, that's supposedly a shadow, guys, from a Chum-trail. Okay, I can tell you right now, it's not. Look at that. Okay, it's just a really good explanation, a really good capture here of what we've what we've come across here, okay? You know, we're looking at a so-called shadow right here, and what's happening is this is happening before this is, and they're trying to cover it up. That's what they're doing here. They're going in that same specific, look at the line of direction. Okay, they're trying to hide that. So keep that in mind when you're looking, and when I go on to my next conversation here. So I get this capture, right? Yeah. This was from, where's the, I think I might have screwed up here a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, I think I did a little bit there. We're going to go down here, and I'm going to show you something here, okay? This was from, Monique in California from, the 1st, all right? Look at this, okay? This is unedited. This is how she sent it to me. This came straight off her camera. All right. Now, why is this one any different than any other one that we see? Well, we have been noticing that when we do see these breakdowns of these shadows, not all the time, but a lot of the time, it is very, very close to the sun itself, or simulator, whatever this one is. Okay. See the darked out area right here. Now I'm going to zoom in here. Oops. Okay, you see that darked out area. Well, why am I looking at this? Well, if you look real close, you can see clouds going in front of this. So that means that that is not a shadow from this chum. Okay? That thing, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that that couldn't happen, but it definitely lends some validity here, because not only does this thing, the clouds isn't really the biggest issue I'm having with this. Okay, the biggest issue is you're seeing the darked out area cut right through the corona of the sun. Why is it doing that? That's my thing. Okay? It shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, it goes right through. Why is it doing that? You know, because if you look at the rest of the sun here, look at it. I mean, it's way out here, right? So how can it get that dark right here in a so-called whatever? There's the big picture right there. Look at that. Okay, so there's another one. And this is the one I put some contrast on. This is why we put contrast and stuff on it, because then you can see it better. All right, I want to show you the originals first. And you guys see what I'm talking about, clouds, how there's clouds in front of this? Again, it's almost like hash marks. I don't understand that quite yet either. But you can see how this thing just cut right through. So, just saying. So we'll go on to the next thing here. Now this is something that was sent to me by Chris, okay, on 4/4. These captures I'm getting ready to show you has so many things in them that I could talk forever on these things, okay? There's so much stuff going on in these captures. First thing I'm going to point out, look at this hard line, okay? That's number one. Number two, you see, again, basically rips in the matrix, okay? What it looks like. It's what we're theorizing right now, okay? Now, something else, it's a little harder to see, but can you see this other line back here? What that is and something else that you need to pay attention to right there, is how this dark area actually cuts through that line. Okay? So what that means is that this is cutting through something. This is right there. This is dark for a reason. Alright? Now, I'm going to back off here a little bit. Now you can see how they've built a base on purpose. All right, so that goes to, you know, the blue beam thing and the holographic theories and all those kinds of things. All right, that would be a great backdrop for something to be able to be projected up there. Okay, now the really, really odd stuff. Look at this. And I'm going to show you consecutive photographs. Okay, first off, you get this really weird looking chum. Almost said it. Stop myself. Sorry, guys. Anyway, you can kind of see this really, it almost looks like a vortex type of thing. Okay? And then it's kind of attached to this chum. Well, where's this chum coming from? Why does it do that? Like it's coming from behind. It's almost like, well, you know, like I said, I'm a biblical man. I hold true to that belief. I'm what I call myself a follower of Yeshua. That's just who I am. And so when I read things in my Bible, that's almost like a pulling back of the of the sky. That's just what it looks like to me. You know, that's just where my mind went. Is that what's going on here? I don't know. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is, where did that chem come from? And because if you look at this, it started over here. See how it fades off that direction? And then when it gets here, it stops. And you can see it bend as if it's going behind this thing. And I don't know, maybe it's an optical illusion or whatever. I don't know. But if it does what it looks like it's doing right here, it looks like it's starting from over here, comes here, and then does this. Becomes part of this, whatever this is. Okay? Now, we all know that if we were in an aircraft of some sort and was going this way, and we did more, that's more than a 90-degree turn. A 90-degree turn would be like that. So, I mean, you do that, there's not going to be nothing left of you. There's no way. So, how is this even possible? That's my question here, okay? And again, look at these so-called sundogs. All right, and this one, it has one here at the top too, and I'll show it to you. But then again, look down here, we're again close to the sun. It's making the light bend. What's causing all that? And here, and this is what I'm talking about. What's kind of looking like a vortex. I mean, look at this crazy looking chum. It's just, I mean, that is in no way normal. Sorry. And again, these are consecutive pics that she sent, or he sent to me. Okay, and again, you're seeing the dark areas here. These are just going to be, you know, more proof of what's going on here, because these, like I said, you're going to see stuff, you know, stay here for a time. This isn't just like a snapshot and keep moving, right? This is like this for however long. Okay? There's that other sundog I was telling you about. How is that all? See how, and then this one. This is the last one. Okay, so everything kind of moved over. And look at this. Look familiar? I mean, we're seeing that notched out part. How does that happen? If you look at the corona of the sun, you follow the natural angle of what was going on, it should be like this. Roughly. Because the corona is stretching out to this. So that should be stretching out here too, and it's not. Something's blocking it. What's blocking it? That's my question. Not to mention that it follows right along with this rip. And then goes this way. I don't think this is all... I think what I'm saying is I think this is all related somehow. And we're just trying to figure it out. Okay? I still don't understand how that happens with that chum. I just don't understand. But, yeah. Okay. Anyway. Here's the originals. I like to show you guys the originals without any kind of contrast. Okay, that's what they look like. I mean, they were there even in this, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff was there without any contrast. Now, I'm not sure. Now, what makes somebody take a pic like this? Well, because they actually seen something with their naked eye. All right, this isn't somebody that just takes pics all day long. This is somebody that seen something with their naked eye, stopped because it was odd, and started taking pics. I'm not sure if Chris is the one that was the truck driver and actually pulled off the side of the road or what have you. And again, there they are with contrast again. Then I get this. Okay, look at this. It's bent. You can see it's bent. Oops. Okay, and something else. Look here. It's behind the trees. That's in the sky, guys. This isn't something that's in front of these trees like it's a reflection off of a lens. This is in the sky. This right here pretty much just proves it. It's in front. I mean, it's behind the trees in front of it. If this was reflecting off of a lens of some sort, off of the camera, and I've shown people how to prove that before, that this blue light would be in front of the trees. It would be covering the trees up. And it doesn't. Okay? And then here's another one. I mean, if you go look at this, it's even, you can see how the lines are in front of this too. Okay? I mean, so yeah. Then this, I put these three together, okay? Now here's that notched out part. This is the one Scott caught in Pennsylvania. Again, dark. Dark, dark. This is supposedly the sun or the sun simulator. How's it that dark right there? How? And then you got the grid. I mean, look at that. Oops. Okay. And then I get this from Thunderhead, Missouri. I showed you guys this a couple videos back. Again, how does the light from the so-called sun or sun simulator, the corona natural, would be this way? Why is all this missing? Only one explanation. Something's blocking it. I mean, could I tell you exactly what that is? No. But, I mean, something definitely is. And then look at this. Same thing. So I said, that's why I put these three in the same little collage. Because it's doing it here too. Same type of angles. It seems to be greater than a right angle. Okay? If you look at this one, see how it's kind of more open that way? Just like this one was. And then this one is the same way. It's not quite a right angle. It's a little bit more. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. In my mind, it probably because of the curve of the earth. We're looking out into that kind of an area. Maybe the atmosphere might be distorting it a little bit to our eyes. I don't know. But it's not a right angle. At least from how we can see it. So yeah. Yeah, guys, I mean, and that right there, like I said, Scott caught that, and then all that happened over at Lasco, them sites go down. They're just trying not to let us see stuff, guys, and it's going to get harder and harder, I guarantee it. Which is why it's going to take all of us to look up in the sky a lot more. All right, this is what I was saying about those anomalies, okay, right here. You guys see those, please take screenshots before and after, and see if we can't catch them altering things. Here's that grayed out, I didn't show this, but here's that grayed out area after he caught that. They actually put a gray box there. How much more blatant can you be? I mean, he catches it right over here, right? The beginning of it, and then the very next capture, they block it out. I mean, that just shows you that he caught something that they didn't want us to see. Because it wasn't, number one, I wish that I had taken a screen recording of this, because I could have shown that it was all there at the beginning. They seen it, went back and altered this, guys. This wasn't something that was not there to begin with, because it was. So anyway, yeah, obviously I wanted to bring that to you guys. I just, all the stuff, all these channels and stuff that we've been talking about, all this stuff, all these things. I mean, it's getting to the point where we don't even have to like, hey, did you see this or did you see that? Because we're all seeing it. Because there's so much. We're getting, from you guys. It's awesome to get stuff from you guys, because you guys are just proving it. You're proving it. It's not us. We're just seeing it. We're the ones ones with the channels that are able to put it out there, that have a platform to show everybody. I mean, I like looking at it too, but I like having help also. And you guys have helped all of us in such a great way. I mean, so don't stop sending stuff. I mean, this is stuff that we have to, if you guys start seeing these, let me show you this real quick. If you guys, again, this is from Jeff P over there, his channel. I mean, one of his subscribers sent him this. If you guys see this, please take a screenshot, send it to me. Okay, please. I mean, because the more evidence of this that we got, the more that they can't sit here and well, I guess for lack of a better words here, blow smoke up our butt. I mean, 'cause that's what they're doing right here. They're blowing smoke up our butt with this crap right here, right? But anyway, yeah. And there's one more thing I want to mention, okay? This whole platform that we're on, okay? It's getting harder and harder. And they're doing it on purpose. They're making it harder and harder for us to, and I'm going to scroll through some pics here so you guys can at least have something to look at, to get our info out, right? Well, you know what they're doing now? And it doesn't really affect me yet, unless they start increasing this number. But now, and I don't live stream very often anyway, but now you know what they're doing to the smaller channels. For those of you who don't know, if you don't have 1,000 subs, they don't let you live stream anymore. Okay? Now, for those channels out there that are dependent on the live streams, obviously they'll have to change what they're doing, or they'll have to just shut it down. There's no in between here. Now, I don't really know their reasoning on the platform here, why they want to do that, but that's what they're doing. So what I suggest, even if you don't 100% agree with how somebody is presenting the information, or how somebody, or even the information that they're presenting is exactly how you believe, go sub to their channel, because they do have some truth somewhere along the line. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So let them get to 1,000 subs. Okay? I mean, just anybody that you think that might be close, that, we all have smaller channels that we enjoy watching, okay? I go over to Tells the Blue-Eyed Indian. He's been one of my buddies since the beginning of all this for me, and he's under 1,000 subs. So his live streams are done until he can get above that. And then there's a couple other ones that I've been checking out too. But yeah, I mean, anybody that's out there that's that low, let's get them up there, guys. Let's give them some subs. Even like I said, you don't have to agree with everything. I know everybody doesn't agree with everything I say, or Jeff, or Scott, or Steve, or anybody out there, guys. Okay? That's just what it is. But we can't let, this is more of a, I don't know, this is more of a censoring thing for me. Okay? So if we allow them to keep doing this, it's just not going to stop. So the more we can keep people out there, the better off we're going to be, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? So anyway, guys, God bless. Send some pics if you want. I like to see them. God bless. Yeshua saves. And you can drink this Kool-Aid.